Just as a disclaimer before starting, I record this video in two separate locations, so if the audio changes suddenly at any point, that's why. Okay? Cool. See ya. I had a different intro planned for this video, but I don't even care anymore. After nearly 7 years of development, Hollow Knight Silksong is almost out. In fact, depending on when I finish this video, it might already be out. It's been a long time coming, but it's going to be okay now. We can all rest soon. Probably. In the meantime, I've been looking into Silksong's history for the past month or so. All of the trailers released, the bits of news teased throughout, the insanity, and I've decided to catalog everything interesting I could find right here for your viewing pleasure. Why? I have nothing else going on. What am I supposed to do, play other video games? No, that'd be ridiculous. This timeline will by no means be conclusive, partly because some things aren't big enough to warrant covering. Most of the time it'll be because I forgot it happened. I'll be leaving some links in the description which cover Silksong's entire history, if you want a more complete timeline. Alright, that's enough preamble. Let's descend into Silksanity. Team Cherry launches their Kickstarter campaign for Hollow Knight. What, you thought we were gonna start with the Silksong reveal? Please, this is a history lesson. We're looking at the whole story today. Just be grateful I decided to start here, because at one point I considered talking about Hungry Knight. I decided to stick to information that's, quote, relevant to Silksong directly. How is the Hollow Knight Kickstarter directly relevant? Well... The Kickstarter campaign for Hollow Knight officially ends, raising over $58,000 to fund the game. What we're here for is the last stretch goal reached, that being for a second playable character with their own abilities and side quests. This second playable character later ended up being revealed to be Hornet, the deuteragonist of the game? I'm not sure how else to describe her. Frenemy? Rival? Either way, I'm sure it'll be a fun side mode. Anyways, time to wait for the game to be finished. Hollow Knight finally releases after 3 years of development time. Whew, that took a while. Luckily, I think it was worth the wait. At least I hope it was. I don't know, I didn't know this game existed until 2018. Interestingly, despite not reaching their respective stretch goals, the Coliseum of Fools and the Abyss were implemented in some form. Though not the second playable character. We'll need to wait a bit longer for that. Luckily, in the meantime, we are getting some free DLC.
Mara!
Hollow Knight's first bit of DLC, Hidden Dreams, releases. This added 2 new bosses and a new fast travel system. And listen, I love the new bosses and all, Great Prince Zote, perfect, no notes. But really, I'm only here for the Dream Gate. This feature right here completes the game. This is the reason Hollow Knight became a 10 out of 10. The fact that it wasn't here from the start is a crime and Team Cherry must be punished. Happy Halloween! It's the season of spooks, of horror, of dressing up like an idiot. What did Team Cherry do for this season? I wanna go home. Hollow Knight's second bit of DLC, the Grim Troop, releases, featuring what was at one point the hardest boss in the game. He's still pretty difficult for me. I still haven't been able to no-hit this guy. Hollow Knight's third major update, Lifeblood, drops. This update is not like the previous two. There's no real theme here, it wasn't advertised in the same way, it was more so just a general update. Some bug fixes, some minor additions, maybe a new boss fight or two. Yep, it sure is an update. Oh shit, they buffed Weaver Song. Well, never mind, best update of all time right here. We don't need anything else. Hollow Knight's final update, Godmaster, releases. This DLC gets the honor of being the only one renamed due to trademark concerns. A shame too, because Gods and Glory rolls off the tongue way better than Godmaster. This is by far the meatiest update, adding a way to refight bosses alongside new bosses and harder variants of existing ones. Beyond that, we have a whole new area to explore, Pantheons, which are boss rushes that you can add handicaps onto for an extra challenge, a new game mode, kind of. It's just the DLC area, I don't know what the purpose of this is. There's even a new ending, which I still haven't gotten because this game is hard as balls. Godmaster is probably my favorite of the 4-ish content packs. Is it just a glorified boss rush mode that, like the Grim Troop, feels a little stapled on? Yeah. I really like Hollow Knight's combat system, alright, sue me. Give me an entire section of the game where I do literally nothing but fight? Yeah, of course I'm gonna like it. What did you expect? For the final DLC release, overall Godmaster was a very nice send-off for Hollow Knight. Wait, whatever happened to that second playable character mode?
Shaw!
On Team Cherry's website, a new article appears promising to reveal something on Valentine's Day. Well, well, what could this be? It's Valentine's Day. It's the season of love and giving gifts and stuff. And Team Cherry today has given us all a gift. A wonderful gift. A reveal trailer for their newest project, and it's a sequel to Hollow Knight? Already? Alongside this trailer, Team Cherry dropped a Q&A explaining more details on this new game and how it came about. In short, Silksong was originally planned to be DLC for the original game, and this was supposed to be that second playable character mode that was promised in the Kickstarter. But the scope of this mode grew so big that Team Cherry decided to say fuck it and make it its own game.
But yeah, as we sort of kept going and kicking around ideas, the idea of having Hornet go through an adventure in a whole new kingdom actually seemed like a really fun and interesting idea to us.
Way more fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was it's probably the biggest motivation was for us to be able to make a new game and a new world and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste any time actually discussing the trailer here, partly because if you've gotten to this point in the video, you're probably a deranged fan like me and watch the trailer religiously 24/7. Also, we still have a lot to cover, and I'm only at like page 3 of the script. We do not have time to get into this right now. Team Cherry makes a new post celebrating Hollow Knight's 2nd year anniversary. Yeah, who cares, we're here for the Silksong news. Which we do get. We get the names of some of the NPCs that appeared in the trailer. That's about it, but any news is good news.
Wake the up, samurai.
Hollow Knight Silksong is presented at E3 2019. Not only is it presented though, it's playable. A demo for the game is shown in extensive detail during Nintendo's Treehouse event. This demo was playable on the show floor too for any attendees. This demo is the best look we're gonna get at Silksong for a long time, so savor these precious moments. We get an extensive look at 2 areas in the game, the Moss Grotto and the Deep Docks. Analyzing this gameplay, we can surmise that this game does indeed look like a Hollow Knight sequel. In retrospect, I think we can all recognize that Silksong was maybe announced a tiny bit too early, but that's something I can only say with 6 years of hindsight, because this demo, it's pretty damn polished. Complete animations, fully programmed AI and boss AI, no obvious glitches or unfinished assets. If you told me this gameplay footage was final, I'd probably believe it. I mean, even the Treehouse presenters were fooled. They said this game was coming out soon.
So Hollow Knight Silksong is coming soon. Team Cherry are unfortunately not here. They're hard at work in Australia finishing the game, and hopefully we'll have some more updates soon, because this is just a taste and I need the entree now.
And we know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, okay, soon. This demo was unfortunately only made for E3. This one was never uploaded online anywhere. And I didn't go to E3, so I don't know what else to say here. It's alright though, because this year is going to be different. We're going to E3 this year. 2025, baby, here we come!
Mobadis.
A new blog post is made on Team Cherry's website discussing Silksong's presence at E3 this year. This post goes into more details on gameplay, such as how healing works and the mapping system. Pretty much all of this information was already shown in the Treehouse livestream, but it's still nice to hear from Team Cherry directly. As for a release date, still nothing. But at the end of the blog post, Team Cherry discusses how they only want to lock in a release date once they're confident that they'll be able to meet it. The Hollow Knight Silksong demo is confirmed to be playable at PAX Australia. I'm assuming it's the same demo from E3. I don't know, I don't live in Australia. Team Cherry also announces that attendees will receive an enable pin for showing up. Oh damn, I should have gone to this one. Christopher Larkin, composer for both Hollow Knight titles, releases a few tracks for the upcoming game. Lace, a boss track, and Bonebottom, an area track. And at the time of writing, these are still the only tracks we know about. Also today, the Team Cherry website makes another blog post. Couple of things of note here. It talks about the song previews, some new merch, this funny little guy, and this funny little guy. Overall, pretty light development update. It's not much, but it is always nice to hear from Team Cherry. This is the last blog post. I'm not sure if this website has ever been updated since. Team Cherry still hasn't even changed the Twitter logo. What happened? Did they forget their password? Did they forget they made this website? Where did they go? It's time for what I like to call the ARG arc, a period between June and July where Matthew Lethgriffith, Team Cherry's PR guy, would post various riddles to the Hollow Knight Discord. I'm not actually a part of the Hollow Knight Discord, so I never saw this. I'm not very active online, if you can't tell. I'm gonna lump all these entries into one section since the end result is the same for each. Each riddle revealed a new NPC or a group of NPCs, alongside a brief, albeit vague, description of their function in-game. 2 of these are NPCs you can interact with, the Huntress and Grindle. The Caravan, from the sounds of it, are Silksong's equivalent to the Grubs. And lastly, Seth is a mini-boss. Also, Seth is not a character created by Team Cherry themselves. This was created by Seth Goldman, a fan who met Team Cherry that, to my knowledge, unfortunately passed away some time ago. Team Cherry included his character and the fight as a tribute to him, which is very sweet of them, I will say. Aside from one more thing we'll get to in a second, these series of riddles were pretty much the only noteworthy thing that happened this year. Yeah, it is a little disappointing that we didn't get a new proper trailer or blog post, but I will say, I do think these riddles were a nice way to engage with the community, even if the destination wasn't anything groundbreaking. I just hope this tendency to share information via cryptic riddles won't cause any issues in the future.
Can you believe it, guys? Christmas!
Just a week away.
Hollow Knight Silksong makes a surprise appearance at Edge Magazine 354. This magazine includes some new screenshots and an exclusive interview with Team Cherry themselves. I don't have this magazine myself, and I don't feel like spending money, so sorry. The basic gist of it, I think, is, yep, the game still exists, bye. Oh damn, Inscryption's in here. Maybe I should get this. Happy 2021, everybody, the year of no news. Seriously, Team Cherry kind of went AWOL this year. I could barely find anything noteworthy that happened. So instead, let's talk about some Silksong adjacent news. Daily Silksong News uploads its first video. For those not in the know, this channel is exactly what it says on the tin. Every day this channel will post a new video, in which our Lord and Savior, our Aurora, or some other host, will check in and report on whether or not God has officially abandoned us yet. This channel, as such, is actually a great resource to see when we get news on Silksong's development. Let's go take a look and see what's happening. Oh no! This whole thing was actually inspired by the Elden Ring news channel, which follows a similar premise, but for Elden Ring. Elden Ring, for reference, underwent a similar story for Silksong, where the game just kind of disappeared for a while. But just like Elden Ring, I'm sure at some point there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. Totally. The indie project Crowsworn is announced for Kickstarter. Now, obviously, this isn't directly related to Silksong or Hollow Knight, but if you squint your eyes just the right amount, you may notice some similarities between this game and Hollow Knight. Don't worry, they know. In fact, Hollow Knight is a direct inspiration for this title. Plus, this game does have a weird connection beyond the obvious inspiration. Leth is involved with this project. You know, Team Cherry's marketing expert, and the guy who we get 90% of our information from. Yeah, he was also brought on board to Crowsworn as their PR and marketing expert. There's just something really funny about that. The Hollow Knight Silksong subreddit is created. I could have sworn this was made earlier, but that's what the date says, so sure. This is, of course, a Reddit page where you can discuss everything related to Hollow Knight Silksong. And if the banner is any indication, we've been here for too long.
Carpet.
Reddit user ultimate_dad_bod ran into Ari Gibson and chatted with him. Most notable bullet points, Ari shared that the virus didn't actually impact their developments much, and the scope for the game has grown beyond their initial plans. Alright, I might have lied when I said 2021 was a quiet year. Truth is, something did happen this year. Something pretty huge, and I'd say is definitely worthy of being included in this video. Deltarune Chapter 2 is finally released. Now you can experience all of Chapter 1 and 2 right now, for free. You heard me right, for free. We got epic adventure, we got lesbians, we got first-degree murder, we got characters driven mad with knowledge beyond their comprehension. This is peak fiction right here. Wait, shit, this isn't Silksong adjacent. Reddit user Kingshit, Reddit user Kingshit, a moderator for the Hollow Knight subreddit, makes a post confirming via an anonymous source that Hollow Knight Silksong still has no release date. Okay. Makoto Koji, the voice of Hornet, confirms on Instagram that she had finished her parts for Silksong. Not too surprising, since Hollow Knight's voice lines are
Papanada.
not very complex. It is confirmation that something related to Silksong is done. Hollow Knight Silksong wins the 2021 Unity Award for Most Anticipated Game. Team Cherry comments on their achievement and mentions, quote, "It can't be too much longer. Surely." I don't actually remember this happening. I didn't even know Unity handed out awards. I should take a look at this. Oh.
Please welcome Keanu Reeves.
Great news, everybody! We finally have something substantial again. A new trailer for Hollow Knight Silksong is presented during the Xbox Game Showcase. This is the second and only trailer this game has gotten. Good lord. This trailer showed off a couple new areas, some new enemies, new attacks. Nothing majorly exciting, but to be fair, I'm not sure what they could show off that would be shocking at this point, so whatever. Holy shit, they got graphics? The big thing announced at the end of this trailer was that Silksong would release day one on the Xbox Game Pass, and that's great for all the Game Pass players. It would mean a lot more if the game was out though. Some additional footage is shown over the next few days of Xbox's showcase. Later on Twitter, Xbox also clarified that every game showed on stream would be releasing within 12 months from now. And that includes Silksong. Holy shit, an actual release window. 2023, here we come. Where the fuck is it? Silksong is confirmed to be releasing for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I thought they were already confirmed. Alright, you know what? We got another information drought for the next few months, so fuck it. I'm talking about the Deltarune newsletters now. December 20th, 2022, the first newsletter for Undertale/Deltarune drops. Not much actual information in this newsletter about Deltarune's development, though that's probably because this was 3 months after the Spamton sweepstakes, so fans already got their fill of information this year. Oh yeah, the Spamton sweepstakes were a thing. It was a charity/auction event where you can enter and win wild prizes! There was also an ARG in the middle of it all, teasing information for Chapter 3 of Deltarune. The second Undertale/Deltarune newsletter drops. Again, not much relevant Deltarune information, but we got confirmation that the translation process for Chapter 3 is about to get started. Lith confirms on Twitter that Silksong was planned to be released during the first half of 2023, but was delayed. He did confirm development was continuing, and he'd be sharing more information as we approach the release date. Alright, so a delay. Not great news, admittedly, but it is news. Technically, we got more than a delay. We got confirmation that Silksong was supposed to release this year. So, logically, the game should be pretty far along at this point. Hopefully that means the game should be coming soon. Deltarune's third newsletter drops. Toby shares some information about Chapter 3 and how it's nearing a playable state. Yippee.
Oh?
Reddit user Angelucci? These fucking names. This guy met Ari Gibson and Makoto Koji at AVCon. They confirmed that Silksong is a video game. Pre-orders for these Hollow Knight Nendoroid figures drops. Ordinarily, I wouldn't talk about merch drops, but in the case of the Hornet figure, we learned the name of this little guy who has shown up in a couple of the trailers. The Cogfly. The Hornet figure also explicitly calls out Silksong in its store page, so there you go. Official Silksong merch dropped before the game itself. Incredible. Another Deltarune newsletter. Chapter 3 is now fully playable. That doesn't mean it's finished, only that you can play it from start to end. But it is playable.
The true and real chaos.
Happy Halloween, everybody! No, we're not done with Deltarune yet. In this newsletter, Toby discusses his initial release strategy for Deltarune, and how he'll be pushing back Chapter 5 in order to focus on completing Chapters 3 and 4 first. On the bright side, Chapter 3 is pretty much content complete.
Bis poplis bera bera.
Team Cherry officially announces the third entry in the Hollow Knight franchise, Hollow Knight Zoteboat, a game where you play as the only good character in the Hollow Knight franchise, Zote. Just like Silksong though, this game has never been heard from again. I'm also lying, this was actually an animation done by Reddit user Lime. I just wanted to mention it here because it's a really well made mock-up trailer. Like, damn, I want to play this.
Fafundo!
The metadata for the Silksong trailer is extracted? How does this even happen? We learned the names of some of the clips used in the trailer, which revealed some information that we weren't privy to until now, like the names of a few areas and enemies. Holy shit, they got Goomba in on this? Another Reddit user meets Ari and Makoto at a convention. This time it's user Greyish-Glob at PAX Australia. Guess what? The game still exists. Yippee. February is a very important month when it comes to the Hollow Knight series. The original game released on February 27th, and the reveal trailer for Silksong dropped on Valentine's Day in 2019. For this year, 2024, Team Cherry did something I don't think a lot of people expected from them, and surprised and announced absolutely nothing. Here's another newsletter. Toby's team for Deltarune has pretty much all moved on to Chapter 4, with the exception of localization and bug testing. Leth confirms on Reddit that Crowsworn will not be releasing before Silksong. This is technically a release window. Silksong will be out before Crowsworn, and maybe before Half-Life 3 as well. Reddit user Mr. eman541 runs into Leth at the Day of the Devs convention. He elaborated a little bit on the crest mechanic, and we got another confirmation that Silksong will be releasing before Crowsworn. Yeah, sure, I'll believe it when I see it.
Hush!
Hollow Knight Silksong gets a Microsoft Store page. This page gives us the ESRB rating for the game, E10+. On its own, this doesn't tell us a lot, but the fact that the game has a rating at all implies that maybe, just maybe, the game is near completion, especially since Leth confirmed that an ESRB rating is required for a game to be released physically. Of course, Silksong is most likely releasing digital first, so this rating doesn't technically mean anything. Plus, I get the feeling this is just a placeholder rating, and it might get updated later on. Oh hey look, newsletter time. Development for Chapter 4 is going smoothly, but unfortunately we're nowhere near a release date yet. Wow, where have I heard that before? Alright, I know what you're thinking. Wow, it's 2024 and we still don't have a release date for Silksong yet? Not even another trailer? This is getting kind of absurd now, isn't it? I know. But, what if I told you the sequel to Hollow Knight already came out? Nine Souls officially releases on Windows and Mac OS. This game garnered some interest right away, especially from the Hollow Knight community, because just from a glance, I mean, have you looked at it? This game very obviously takes some inspiration from Hollow Knight, and after playing a bit of it, yeah, there's some influence here. I do think I'm underselling it by just leaving it at, yep, it's just like Hollow Knight, because it does play and feel very different. This game, alongside Metroid Dread, has confirmed to me that Metroidvanias need more parry systems. These things are great. I've played only a little bit of Night Souls through Game Pass, and I will say, while it doesn't exactly scratch the itch that a true Hollow Knight sequel would, this game does slap and you should absolutely play it. Like right now. Stop the video. Go play it. Go! Chapters 3 and 4 are nearly complete. Unfortunately, actually releasing the game will still take some time. Toby goes into, quite frankly, a lot of detail on what's left to do before release, like bug testing, console porting, localization. There's still a lot of work to be done, but at least we know we won't have to wait too much longer. Happy 9th anniversary to Undertale. Oh god, it's been how long? Not much new information for Deltarune this time, but we did get some concept art and unused music tracks for Chapter 2. I can see why this was unused.
That's a wonderful idea!
Translation work for Chapter 4 is near completion. Still got console testing left to do, but the finish line is ever so slowly drawing near. Also, Chapter 5 exists. Neat. Let's confirm Silksong is real. Oh thank god, I thought I just hallucinated this game for a second there. It's 2025, baby! Give it up for 2025. We're really starting to lose the plot here. On January 16th, the Twitter account Little Bomy posts an ominous tweet saying the following: "Something big is coming. Keep your eyes closed tomorrow." Now, if you haven't been part of the Hollow Knight community, you might be asking, what does this tweet in this account have to do with Silksong? Alright, buckle in. So, this account is believed to be William Pellin's personal account. William Pellin is, of course, one of our 3 developers. I don't know how we know this is William's account, we just do. So, a developer at Team Cherry makes a post announcing that something is coming tomorrow? Yeah, pretty big deal. But tomorrow comes, and nothing happens. Though, curiously, this post was made on the same day that the Nintendo Switch 2 was finally unveiled. So, it's possible that William was just teasing the Switch 2's announcement, for some reason, and he just got the day wrong. Nothing more to it, right? And yes, that would be the end of it, for a normal person. But none of us here are normal, are we? You see, alongside this post, the Twitter account also changed their profile picture to a chocolate cake. Bit of a strange detail, isn't it? So, people decided to look into this picture, and managed to find the original source, that being a cake recipe that was posted on April 2nd. But wait, that's not all. Let's look at that tweet again. Notice anything odd? The phrasing, "keep your eyes closed tomorrow." What's that about? Why wouldn't he just say, "keep your eyes open"? Well, if we go over to the Twitter account for Imagine Dragons, bear with me for a second, we can find a tweet promoting one of their albums, Eyes Closed Tomorrow. And when was this post made? April 2nd. And hold on a second, remember how I mentioned that the Switch 2 was revealed on this day? Well, that was just a reveal. Nintendo also announced that they would be doing a proper Nintendo Direct showcasing more of the system. And when would that Direct be? April 2nd! Don't you see it? The signs, the messages, it's another riddle, and it all points to one date, April 2nd. This is what we've been leading up to. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. The game we've been so desperately longed for. It's just within our grasp. It's... It was nothing. Fireborn, someone who made a video going over this, quote, ARG, was contacted by Leth, and confirmed that this tweet didn't mean anything. There was no ARG, and this was all just a big misunderstanding. And judging by Fireborn's face in the image, he's taking the news well. I think Leth did do an AMA shortly after this on Discord, so that might count as news. But yeah, in short, technically nothing happened. 2025, baby. A Reddit user, beautiful_specific1, makes a post on the Silksong Reddit claiming to be a voice actor for the upcoming game. In the post, they claim that all signs are pointing to the game having a 2025 release date, and that we should expect more news coming soon. Later on, the post was edited clarifying some information, and claiming that while they were not a professional voice actor, they were related to a friend of Ari, which is how they got the role. This simple, innocuous post proceeded to cause mayhem in the Silksong Reddit for a couple of days, for reasons I'm not entirely sure on. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really get why so many people bought into this. Anyone can make a post claiming to be a voice actor or a developer on a game. For example, did you know I voiced the character Sklingo in Deltarune Chapter 6? It's true! But if we do assume that this post was 100% legitimate, I mean, okay, Cool, the game's coming out in 2025. Yeah, I sure hope so. Thanks for breaking your NDA to let us know. There's just not a lot to dissect from this post, beyond knowing what the release window is, which doesn't even really mean much considering Team Cherry has passed a few release windows already. Either way, this post and the account have since been deleted, so, you know, it's probably bullshit.
I always come.
I think the Silksong Reddit underwent a civil war. I don't know, I don't really use Reddit, but I think the Silksong was split into like two factions, believers and doubters. We've been here for too long. The Nintendo store page for Silksong is suddenly delisted. Whatever could this mean? Do you think Nintendo took a look at this whole situation and said, oh damn, this game ain't ever coming out, shut it down boys? Or do you think maybe some random intern accidentally hit the delist game button? Or it could be that they're taking it down to revamp it, adding a new description and screenshots and whatnot. It could honestly be anything, but we won't know until later. It's back up. It was nothing. Team Banana, the infamous rivals to Team Cherry, breaks into Team Cherry's headquarters, stealing their hard work and using it to craft their own devilish creation. Hornet Go, an endless runner where you play as Hornet running through the kingdom of Farloom, gathering power-ups and money, dodging enemies, and it's an endless runner, what do you want me to say? This game's pretty solid, and unlike Zoteboat, is an actual real game. I'll leave a link to it in the description. People on the Silksong Reddit somehow found a new Kickstarter login to the Team Cherry account. The fans are stalking these guys like hawks. Though I believe all the account did was back a project. Still, technically news. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct did the impossible and showed a monumental 4 seconds of new footage. There was no new trailer. The game was just shown during a sizzle reel. Huh. We did get a new promotional render along with this though, as well as a confirmation that Silksong will release at some point in 2025, but no set release date yet. I really want to hope this is true, but we've been in this situation before, so until Team Cherry gives us a set release date, I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic. Oh shit, Deltarune. A sprite sheet for Hornet was released today, kind of randomly in the middle of an IGN article, alright. This article also confirms that Silksong will be playable in September. Only at a museum though. I suppose that technically counts as a release. Newsletter time. More info on when exactly Deltarune will release is revealed. Specifically, it will release midnight on June 5th in Japan, meaning for North American players, the game is technically releasing a day early. Neat! There was also a preview for the PlayStation trophies, and the Spamton Sweepstakes ARG got updated. Overall, pretty sweet.
Hey, here's something important to remember.
Plushie. How much longer now, my
Deltarune.
Oh hey, more footage dropped. Nice. This time it was during another Xbox showcase. Xbox is doing their own handheld. Finally, a way to play Hollow Knight portably. More sprite sheets for Hornet dropped, I'm pretty sure, but it was on Instagram, which I don't have. And I'm not about to download another social media app for one bit of news and nothing else. Here are the screenshots, have fun. Also have some sketches too. As a little bonus. You've earned it, champ.
I'm old!
Xbox confirms a playable demo for Silksong will be available at Gamescom. About time. The last time the Silksong demo was playable was 6 years ago. It's probably a little outdated by this point. It's Gamescom week, and you know what that means. Demo time! Of course, you know me, I don't go anywhere. But from the footage that's been shared online, it's just the Deep Docks area again, like the 2019 demo. It has been updated graphically, but it's nothing new. That's not the exciting part though. The real event came right before the convention. Something's about to happen. In 48 hours, Team Cherry is doing a special announcement. A feature presentation. I am terrified. It's here. Hollow Knight Silksong is officially confirmed to be releasing September 4th, 2 weeks from now. Oh my god. Also today, Team Cherry did an interview with Jason Schreier where they talked about Silksong's long development time. And here's where they confirmed that the reason the game took so long was because they took their time. I don't know how this makes me feel.
I am so happy about this information.
There's still some more things to discuss, but I think I'm actually going to end things off here. Over the next few days, more details in the game have been revealed, but nothing is really as interesting as the reveal trailer. Oh cool, the game costs $20. That's surprisingly low, all things considered. Do I have a lesson or a point to make here? I think at some point I did, but I don't think I care anymore. I'm not even the biggest Hollow Knight fan. Why'd I do this? Originally, I was planning to end this video on a spiel about game development, how hard it can be, and trying to live up to unrealistic expectations, etc. But honestly, learning that Silksong wasn't in development hell makes all of those points ring a tad hollow now. Get it? Cause like Hollow Knight. What's the moral for today's story now? Being a Deltarune fan is so easy.